All right, it is time now once again for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. My name is Elias Melas, but you can call me Eli for short. And who is this amazing, incredible, sweet, kind, loving, caring, beautiful woman to my right? Woman.
I'm a
singular,
woman.
Singular, not plural.
Woman, hear me roar. Well, I'm your girlfriend, John Ledgerwood.
That's right.
And you do hear me roar.
Well, you got that right, and I'm already screwing things up at the beginning of the show, babe. That's because it's been a heck of a long week, hasn't it been?
Oh, honey, every week's a long week for us. I don't know when we get a break. Like, when we do, y'all aren't going to see us for a while, because if we get a vacation, we're out.
Yeah, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. All right. Well, welcome to episode number 24 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing one of my favorite topics I've been talking about on YouTube for quite a while, and I wanted to bring this to the entire podcast network. The title is Stop Projecting Your Misery Onto Others. One more time. The topic of episode number 24 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast is Stop Projecting Your Misery Onto Others. Before we get to that, baby, because I'm sure you have a lot to say regarding that topic alone, right?
Well, yeah. I'm sorry, my phone is being stupid again.
Before we get to that, my love.
Yes, my love.
How has the past week been? Let's catch everyone up and
All
share
right.
what's been going on this past week, baby.
You know, another great week for us. As far as the GNA, a lot has been done. A lot has gotten accomplished this week, and I'm happy to say that, Eli is just such an amazing man, and he worked so hard these last few months, and now, we went out this last Saturday, which he'll explain. We're recording this on Sunday. It'll be aired on Wednesday, but today is what day, baby? September 1st? Or August.
Okay, so we're recording this today on Sunday, August 31st, 2025. It'll be released throughout the entire podcast network, including, YouTube and, the audio-only networks, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, your favorite.
iHeartRadio.
The dogs are already playing. And YouTube Music, Amazon's Audible. Wow, the dogs are... Oh, my.
We love those puppies.
That's just the way it goes. It'll be released on...
I'm sorry.
The big dog just sneezed big time, huh?
It was like an earthquake in our house.
Jesus, man. Wow. It'll be released throughout the entire podcast network on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025.
Yeah, but I was going to be talking about yesterday, the 30th of August, how we took a nice day off together, and just, we went and we visited some friends and got to see some loved ones, and we just had a great day yesterday.
We went to hell.
Literally hell. Like, we went to Hollister, but
it's nicknamed, her former
Hellister.
town is nicknamed Hellister or Hell, right?
It's hot as hell.
It was 98 degrees out there, like the former group of the 90s, the boy band, right?
Yeah, and and it's a dry heat. And it's just sometimes that town can be a shit show, so we call it Hellister, you know? Yeah. But that's all a joke between my friends and I. But yeah, I went and saw two very dear friends, and we had a great lunch, and then we came home and we had a great night, and watched some TV and relaxed, and but the week was just a normal week. We had I think 2 appointments this week, and not much excitement with that. And you want to tell them about what happened with the GNA this week?
Well, I was going to say, baby, you like to present the short end of the story, also known as the synopsis, right?
Well, I don't think these people are really here to hear the whole drawn out story.
Oh, no, we don't have to go into the whole drawn out story, but, we're not going to mention the names, but we saw a couple of your friends. We saw two of your closest friends out in the Hollister area. One of them we had lunch with. It was a nice lunch.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice lunch at a restaurant that you took me to. Well, you told me about it, and I took you there. It was the very first time we saw your friend George, who used to run the Bon Jovi cover band Steel Horse. They have this restaurant that's a big room, and they have like live music there, like
every night.
2, 3. Yeah, well, is it every night?
No, he said they had something every night, like
every night.
Live music.
They have that big room for it, so draws the crowd, and that's when I first met your friend George and his band Steel Horse, and we actually ended up seeing 2 more shows of Steel Horse before George finally threw in the towel and retired. And then he fucking moved to Texas.
Yeah, so I can't even convince him to do one last show.
Everyone is moving from California to Texas, baby.
Good God. I mean, I don't know what's out there that's so
everything's
good.
bigger in Texas,
Everything's
they say, right?
bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger in fucking Texas. No disrespect to Texans. We love them.
No. I mean, I don't know why that would be disrespectful. That's the term.
Phrase.
Yeah, that's the term that they'll say. So,
Isn't it called the Lone Star State?
Yeah, it's the Lone Star State.
Yeah.
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 Good job, baby.
We're called the Golden State.
Yeah.
Because it's always sunny and nice, right?
Yeah. Wow, you did well.
Well, baby, I'm
you
learning.
You did well in 3rd grade.
Shit, baby, I remember
American geography.
All the geography and history and all that shit back in the grammar school days, right?
Yeah.
Where my dad spent tons of money to send my brother and I to private school. And we talked about my story last week. You can go back and check out episode number 23 if you want to hear more. But yeah, and then we actually visited one of your friends. We don't have to mention his name, but
he is the friend that I mentioned that is not doing well medically. But we don't have to go into his details. That's his business.
Yeah, we're not going to get into details.
Yeah,
on it.
all I want to say about that is that it meant a lot to both of us to be there. I could see that in his eyes. And we just sat. We had a nice little talk about the plans that he has, and just catching up on old times and just, it was really nice. Really nice. Had a great day.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great drive home. You had to fiddle with some lights outside for a little while when we got home, but after that,
yeah, the floodlights at the house needed to be replaced because they burnt out, and everything now in California is LED. Incandescent, I believe, is what they call the original bulbs. They're outlawed now.
Yeah,
which is fine because LEDs are brighter, they're lighter, and they use like 1/9 or 1/10 of the power of incandescent bulbs, and they produce the same amount of light or better.
Mm-hmm.
So from an efficiency standpoint, they're great. The thing is, these are units on a motion sensor, and they're like almost 20 years old. And, one of them has been having some malfunctioning issues. I've been trying to tinker with it to fix it. I may have to replace the sensor. Because you don't want that light, at night going on and off, when no one's walking by it. Now, if an animal walks by or something, it'll go off. But this thing, the wind was setting it off.
Yeah.
So I had to go adjust the sensitivity and blah blah blah. But yeah, so
so you came home, you fiddled with that. And
I had to, because that light kept on staying on, and it's like, and here's the thing: it's not even about wasting. It is wasting power, but it wouldn't cost much because these bulbs, they basically produce 120 watts of light worth of power at like 15 watts. So from an energy efficiency standpoint and, energy bill costs, it wouldn't cost much, but you don't want them on all night. Plus you got neighbors around that, don't want those lights on all night. And, I was trying to figure
be
it out.
courteous.
I think I did, but go ahead.
Yeah, be courteous to the neighbors, and and you know what? It's a super bright floodlight.
Oh yeah,
and so I mean, it could possibly even at the wrong angle affect a driver coming by.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I've been angled to not go out on the street. It's just in the yard, and there you can.
But you never know if there's a reflection out there.
Sure, there's always the possibility of that, and that's understood. But
so yeah, we're just trying to be, courteous to everybody around us, our neighbors and people in the neighborhood,
right,
so that it doesn't affect them at night.
But your friend. With the medical issue, we're not going to get into it or mention his name or anything. We went to his house, and he was happy to see us. He actually also loves your dog, Bochi.
Oh, loves
Bochi
my doggy.
Is homie.
Homie. Yeah, that's his homie.
Yeah, it's his homie. And so we're going to need to, bring Bochi down there at some point in the next month or less for him to visit. And we're going to leave Buster at home because those two dogs together don't travel well. No disrespect. I love you, but between you and the two dogs and all that, like, oh my gosh, I love you all. But from a safety standpoint, these dogs like to be co-pilots. They like to jump in the front seat. Bochi likes to be the co-pilot right next to me. And then Buster likes to jump all over Dawn and stuff, and
they bark at everything. Like right. Grandma walking down the road with her grandbabies.
Innocent grandma.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the postman just walking, delivering mail.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Well, they're there to protect you.
Oh, give me a break. Well, he's a little extreme, don't you think?
Well, yeah, Bochi's very, very protective. He is extremely protective. He's the nicest dog in the world unless he fears a threat.
Yeah.
And he thinks everything's a threat. He does. Sometimes he thinks I'm even a threat.
The TV's a threat.
The TV barks at the TV.
Yeah.
There's another animal. There's a big horse, like 100 times his size.
Yeah.
That could crush him. He goes and barks at the big ass horse.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't care.
I'm like, Bochi, that's a fucking horse.
Yeah, but Mama, I gotta protect you
from the big
horse on the
evil
TV,
horse, right?
On the HUD-TV.
The HUD-TV, HDTV, the HUD-TV, right? Right.
Yeah, we're talking about you, Bochi.
Yeah, he's underneath the table there. Yeah.
He's got his head down now.
Yeah. When I put this studio together, I took into consideration the dogs and us having enough space, and my gosh, what it's taken to get to this point, and we still have quite a ways to go. But anyway. We
have a lot of work we're going to be doing this next couple of weeks.
Oh my God.
In the house too.
Yeah,
lots and lots of plans.
We got to deep clean,
almost like fall cleaning. Like a spring clean where you just kind of have to get rid of some clutter, and
there isn't a whole lot of clutter. Dawn makes it seem like it's extremely messy. It's not. For having two dogs that live indoors, and Dawn and I, it's not really that bad.
It's not that bad, but
need some fine tuning.
Well, yes, we need a little more organization.
Absolutely.
With that stuff, and then it wouldn't be cluttered.
And it
would have a place to go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on more. In the next few weeks, getting this house ready for the holidays.
Absolutely.
Be getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, it's right around the corner too. Oh shit.
Yeah.
My barometer over there is saying that there's rain in the forecast.
But it's like 88 out there?
Well, it's not telling me the temperature right now because it's not reading the outside sensor. I think I need to change the battery out there. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe there's rain in the forecast. Who the heck knows? But all right. So
it says 78 right now. Let's see. Update.
Yeah. It's okay.
94. It's 94 degrees right now outside.
94 degrees. Oh my God. Anyway, we've had a heck of a week. I've been working on a lot of things for the GNA, and then Dawn and I have our own personal things with friends, family. There's been a lot of events lately. We were at your father's birthday a few weeks back, and then we visited your friends in Hollister. And there's just been a lot going on.
Yeah, one of these days we take, it's just going to be for the two of us. It's not. It's not going to be going to meet anybody.
You can say that again.
Yeah. We're just going to go and have a Eli and Dawn day,
and
we're going to take on the world
like that, like a spa day.
No, it's just going to be you and I out there taking on the world.
Oh, okay. And we'll
hand in hand.
We'll figure it out as we go along. Then, okay. A spa day would sound nice, though, wouldn't it?
Heck yeah, a spa day.
Spa day would be fucking fantastic. But anyway,
you want to be like Lewis on Suits and take a mud bath?
Oh, yes, mudding. Yeah,
mudding.
Yeah, on the original Suits, not the one that just got canceled, Suits LA, which I was beginning to really like that show, but NBC canceled it. Maybe Peacock will bring it back. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe somebody else will pick it up. Maybe Netflix or somebody or Hulu or Disney or whatever. But the original Suits, Lewis Litt, one of the attorneys, he was known as the oddball of the group. He used to love to go mudding. There was they even brought Lewis back for an episode of Suits LA last year or earlier this year, and there was a mudding episode.
Yeah.
They also brought back Harvey Specter, Gabriel Mock, and Lewis Litt is Rick Hoffman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean those are both phenomenal actors, Gabriel Mock and Rick Hoffman. And Rick Hoffman, if I remember correctly, I can't remember. He was in a bunch of other movies. I think he was in. Oh God, was he in Old School? I think he was in the movie Old School. I cannot remember.
You want to look it up?
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
It's faster for you, probably.
No, I cannot remember what other movies he's been on, but he's been on a bunch of stuff, and yeah, gotta love it. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on here. So today we're going to be talking about stop projecting your misery onto others, and the reason why we chose this topic is this is something that I've been trying to get my message out to help people on YouTube for many years. And it's received a lot of scrutiny, I think primarily because we haven't been able to reach our intended target market on YouTube. I firmly believe once we're able to reach our intended target market, the right people are going to be a lot more receptive to our topics and our content, right, baby?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything that's like major he was in, but
yeah,
no. Sorry, I just was checking for you.
Yeah, when you're doing that, the microphone's not picking.
Sorry. I'm here.
No, it's okay. But yeah, our content has just not been reaching our intended audience, and there are reasons for that, and we're working to correct that, and that will be corrected soon. But we really felt it was important to talk about this throughout the entire podcast network, because with the internet nowadays, and you and I have talked about this, you've talked about this with your therapist has told you about this, and your therapist is even frustrated, and I don't blame her, that a lot of people, instead of getting the proper therapy they need, they go on the internet on sites like YouTube and Facebook and many others, Reddit, and they project their misery and insecurities onto other people. And they use that, in my opinion, as their form of therapy. Do you agree with that, babe? And what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I do. I do think people use that as a form of therapy, just the same way they've used their hairdressers and their bartenders for many, many years. It's free therapy, but is it the right therapy? No, it's not an educated person that's going to know what angle you need for help. So,
but
yeah.
does it correct the underlying issue, or does it just put a Band-Aid on it?
Band-Aid.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. You need to get in and have real therapy and have somebody that doesn't know you break you down and build you back up
Right. And here's the thing. To have an opinion on things like this doesn't mean you're trying to be a doctor or a psychologist or something. It means that you are just a smart person that's lived life.
No, I'm just, and also reflecting on what my therapist has already said to me. So I'm not speaking for her. It's more like we've spoken together, and that's the advice she's given me.
Right. But also, I respect your therapist's opinions because I've been a part of your therapy sessions in the past, and she's phenomenal. I respect her opinions, but even outside of her opinions, you already had an opinion. You already knew to a certain extent that, you understand what projecting is and why people do it, right?
Yeah, but she had to point out to me how I was projecting and why was I projecting?
Right, baby. And I notice your sling is off. You're feeling a lot better, aren't you?
I'm not supposed to wear the sling anymore, remember?
Yeah, that's right. They told you that, but you're in less pain now, huh?
Well, I'm in a little bit of pain right now because we forgot to take pain meds before.
But you're okay for now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, here's the thing. I think with anyone, it's a lot easier to notice other people projecting than notice yourself projecting. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why a therapist would come into play for someone like you or myself or anyone that's really struggling with understanding that, hey, we're lashing out. We're being unreasonable, and we're lashing out onto people that really don't deserve to get what we're lashing out, towards them on, right? And until we have a professional like that knows how to approach the situation the right way, it's going to be hard for us to accept responsibility for our own projections. That's basically what you've been saying, right?
Yeah. You basically just have to break it down to where that projection's coming from. What upsets you so much?
What is causing it?
Yeah. Once you can figure that out, that's how you work on not projecting and getting through that, whether it's talking about it with your therapist or the other person involved, just having a conversation with them and clearing the air,
Yeah. And a lot of times what I notice in people and what I've noticed in myself is that, I've blamed myself. People have blamed themselves for things that are out of their control. And I think that's where a therapist really can come into place and help you understand that, hey, you can't control how other people show up, whether they're friends or family members or spectators on YouTube or whatever, right? You have no control besides how you show up and what comes out of your mouth, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's really hard at times to sit there and not blame yourself for things that are out of your control just because you feel like you're being punished by a family member or punished by the YouTube audience or punished by a friend. When the truth of the matter is, they're the ones projecting onto you. They're the ones that have the problem, and they've somehow manipulated the situation through their projection to flip it back onto you and lead you to believe that you're the problem when you're really not. Now, does that make sense?
Yeah, isn't that gaslighting?
That's another way, yeah. Amen.
Yeah. Basically turning things around, making the other person feel that they're responsible for your feelings.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's like a psychological warfare. Like it's like a reverse manipulation. They flip on you what their issues are because they're not ready to accept responsibility for their own issues.
It's like that joke or commercial that they had where the kid's like, I learned it from watching you, mommy, whether it was drug use or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's true. That's your kids are going to see what you're doing. That's what they're going to take on. That's what they're going to project out.
Correct.
And so you've got to think all the way back to that, like your actions and how they affect everybody. Because now, you're going to blame your daughter for being a fucking crackhead when she just watched you be a crackhead your whole life?
You hit the nail on the head. This is critical because nowadays, a lot of parents are thinking that well, maybe I didn't do a good enough job raising my kids, which is why they turned out this way. And that's not necessarily the case, in my opinion. Even though I haven't had kids, common sense tells me there's so much information on the internet now. These kids are on the internet. They're on these smartphones 24/7. And they're learning these bad habits from the internet, not from their parents.
Mm-mm.
And then the bad habits they learn on they learn through the internet. When their parents try to hold them accountable, then they start to blame their parents for the shit that's not their parents' fault.
Yeah.
And then it leads a parent to believe that they're the problem, and it hurts their feelings and all that. When the truth of the matter is, quite frankly, I'm beginning to more so realize it's not even the kid's problem. It's the internet. It's the information, especially here in the U.S., where our laws are much looser than the rest of the world. The internet here in the U.S., we have so much freedom of speech. People feel like they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. They feel like they own you, and they can talk shit about you, and they can violate your copyright and defame your character and cause you emotional distress. And that's my First Amendment right to do that. No, fuck no. First Amendment rights are not absolute. We need to do a better job here in the U.S. I don't think the problems are as bad in other countries such as Canada and maybe like in the UK and other places because the internet laws are stricter. But here in the fucking U.S., we're too damn free. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be free, but we should be free and also be decent and reasonable. What are your thoughts about that, my love?
Yeah, there needs to still be a guideline or, basically a line that you don't cross.
The line. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I was going to get back, and I've had conversations with my mother and Eli's mother in the past. And, they both love their children very much, but they also have a sense of like, okay, how long are you going to sit there and hold me accountable for your trauma? Like, how long is it going to take for you to understand I made a mistake? Let's move on. Because these kids are using that as blackmail against their parents.
They're weaponizing their own fucking parents.
They're weaponizing the trauma that they had against their parents. Instead of trying to work it out, these kids now, they're using that against the people that love them. But where are they learning that
from again, baby? They're learning it from the fucking internet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And here in the U.S., it's the worst because, and our education here in the U.S. is like the worst. Like we have the most uneducated people. It's because we're too free. And again, I don't want to be painted as the man that doesn't believe in being free. I'm glad that we're free here in the U.S., but we are too loose, especially with internet laws nowadays. And the internet has literally caused the majority of our issues.
It's literally changed our world.
It's changed our world completely.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, no, I mean, just getting back to what my mom was saying, basically, we were talking about, oh, well, if your kid is an adult and is homeless, do you find it your responsibility to take care of your kid? She's like, if my kid's 50 years old and can't get their shit together, then no, I'm sorry. I gave you the tools. I gave you everything. If you can't put that into, action, there's nothing more I can do. And you're not going to sleep on my couch without a job at 50. That's how my parents feel. And you know what? I kind of agree with them because the more they let me sleep on their couch and do nothing, the less I become in life.
The more it enables shitty, piss poor behavior, right?
Yeah. Then I just become lazy and I expect everything, to come for me or to me. And I don't have to work for anything. That's what it turns into. And that's why my mom's like, it's one thing when your kids are like in their early 20s, just starting life.
Right.
Let them transition out and maybe back in and then out again. But at 50 years old, you better have your shit together, And all of us are very family oriented. So no, my mother would not let me stay on the streets.
Of course not.
But my parents would make me find a job.
They'd give you a time limit.
they'd give me a time limit.
Right.
And I'd have a job and I'd be set up before I left. But it wouldn't be a long-term thing, you know? But that's what family does. They help you and they send you on your way, you know? Why should my or anybody's parents raise their kids for, let's say, 20 years? Okay, you let them out in the world and then they fuck up and now that's your fault because you didn't parent them well enough? How is that possible?
It's not your fault, but I'll say this with the utmost respect for you. And I love you and respect you for this. At the same time, I felt for you for blaming yourself for, the actions of your other family members that have nothing to do with the way you raised them. And so, there comes a certain point in time where, we have to understand that, let's just say in the case of your kids, right? If they're not talking with you, it's not necessarily your fault for that. You can take ownership for it, and you've done everything. You've done more than everything. Like, you've moved fucking mountains. Like I've never seen anyone move more mountains than you. Right? And I've tried to move mountains for people too, right? I mean, but I'm saying I've never seen anyone move more mountains for people than you. And you still get shitted on. And that is not your fault. And quite frankly, I've even grown to understand that's not even probably your kid's fault. It's the way the world is nowadays, especially here in the US with the internet, the amount of information and then your peers that you surround yourself with at school, at work, and you see what they're doing, how their family is compared to yours, and you're looking at all this, and then you're comparing it to your family, and your family may be raising you the normal way, and your kids, or your friends, and their family are raising their kids differently. So you're as a kid growing up, you're looking at your friends, how they're being raised by their parents, which may be different, and you're thinking that should be the right way when it's not.
Yeah, it's
go ahead.
It's like when your kid's like, oh, but Jimmy's mom lets him stay up until midnight.
Right. So why can't I? Why can't I? Right.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
So the thing is that you cannot blame yourself for that. People cannot blame themselves for actions that are out of their control. And listen, you can, as parents, in my opinion, you can raise your kids as best as possible. You can do everything right 100%. And they still have to choose how to show up, and they still have to figure out how they want to, represent themselves and appear in this world and act in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can give them all the tools. Are they going to use the tools? That's the thing.
You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make that bitch drink. It's just how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you said you have some Reddits that...
You want to go use the bathroom, don't you?
I do. I want to check the score, which is amazing. Like yesterday, the Giants did not know how to swing a bat.
Uh-huh.
And now they're literally blowing their load again all in one game.
Okay, so let me turn off the camera here real quick on the YouTube side of things, and you can go ahead and use the restroom. And while we're waiting for Dawn to come back, let me remind all of you that are listening to us throughout the audio-only podcast networks such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, my lady's favorite, iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible. They have music and Audible that both, share out podcasts. We're also on YouTube Music and all of the other unknown audio-only podcast networks. There's many of them. If you're listening to us there and you would like to watch the video version of our podcast, which is basically the same audio, which is video, you can go in the description section of wherever you're listening to this audio only. There's a link to that episode's, video version on our main YouTube channel, which is GNA, short for Genuine Networking Association. GNA, Genuine Personal Development. GNA, Genuine Personal Development is the channel, which is what I'm trying to say. You can go over there, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. And once you're done with that, you can also go below in the description section of that video. You will see a link to our secondary channel. We have 2 channels on YouTube. We have a pre-recorded channel where we put the podcasts at. We also have a live streaming channel, which is GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. You'll see that a couple lines down in the description section. And you can subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and you won't miss anything there. I go live, if not every day, almost every day, about 350 out of the 365 days out of the year. I go live. I do Walking with Purpose streams. They're typically an hour to 2 long, depending on how much time I have that particular day. And we have a live chat, and we answer questions. We have a topic, but they're pretty informal. And we talk about, whatever is on people's minds, whatever questions they want to ask, whatever they need help with, or they need a little, encouragement, a pat on the back, a little extra motivation to get through the day or to accomplish something that hasn't been easy. That's what those are there for. Sometimes we talk about some issues on social media. Sometimes we talk about trolls and haters. It happens. Those streams have a little bit of everything. And I can promise you, if you join us there, you're going to learn a lot. You will actually learn how to better understand and handle yourself in this crazy modern digital world that we live in, especially if you are on YouTube, a part of the YouTube community, and you watch live streams and you participate in the live stream chats on YouTube. They get pretty crazy. We can share with you folks how to best handle yourself and how to deal with nasty people, especially if you use your real name and show your face where people can look into you and make your life miserable. We can definitely help you handle that. So that is that. Besides that, just waiting for Dawn to come back here. While we do that, it's been it has been a crazy week. Has been a crazy week. It's are you coming back, Dawn? Dawn! Well, we're going to wait a few more minutes for Dawn to come back. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week. And hold on, give me a second here. Dawn! Okay, I'll be right back. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. I was worried, and that's okay. We're not going to edit this out,
Watch out, baby. Watch out. Watch out. Yeah.
We're gonna keep it real here. You got a little sick, huh? We're not.
Well, I've had a stomach, my stomach's been upset this morning, and when I went out there, I started to feel it, and so it's like, let me get out there and get this out of my system.
We can turn the camera back on.
Oh yeah, no, I'm camera ready. I just not belly ready.
Oh my, give me a second here. All right, there we are.
Yeah.
We're not going to edit that out because we're just raw and real. Things happen.
I'm serious. I've had a stomach ache all morning.
Yeah.
And
when you weren't responding, I was like, is she having a seizure or something? Because you do have seizure disorder. And so it's like I didn't hear you respond. And I'm like, okay. And that's okay. We'll leave it in. We're not going to edit it out.
I had the bathroom door closed, so I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all good now, huh?
But we're good. I mean, now I feel better that I got a little bit of that mucus out of me. Today's been a really, like, with this heat, it just is all sitting in my head, the sinuses. And when I sleep, they drain. And when they drain, that upsets your stomach because you got this extra mucus that you don't need.
Right.
And so I've been kind of going through that this morning. So I apologize. I mean, I'm not sick. It just was a little upset belly for a second. It was like, it's like you feel that and then like you burp and a little comes up and that's all you really needed. So that happened and I just cleaned up and came back. So,
all right. All right. Yeah, we keep it raw and real.
Show must go on.
The show must go on. We keep it raw and real. And if we were live, hey, this would have gone on anyway. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Like, it's all good. So, okay. So we have 4 Reddit postings, and we're going to try to get through all of them here. We're going to limit the show probably to right around an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. We are right now at 41 minutes. So, yeah, you ready to get to those postings, baby?
Yeah. I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's switch on over to the browser source over here. This very first posting is from the subreddit r/therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, and the original poster's title is "How do I stop projecting my own negative self-thoughts onto others, baby? How do I stop projecting my own negative self-thoughts onto others?" Great title.
It's a great title, but I want to know, which we will, what do they mean by projecting their own negative self-thoughts? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean...
That's exactly what a projection is, baby. A projection is projecting your own negative self-thoughts onto others.
I understand that, but it's like I'm interested to see what they're going to say.
You want to see
what their version of projecting a negative self-thought.
Their username is wildwallflower97. And I think that might be a female, but let's see. Advice wanted is what they're saying. Lately, I've been having a hard time. Just the smallest things will set me off into really negative mental state.
I understand.
Oh, I understand.
All right, let's move on.
I'm sorry. I think I have come to the conclusion that I am projecting my negative self-opinion onto others, and it's causing me to spin out more. I would have to fucking agree with that. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree too. I mean, it is. It's like the rabbit hole. You just keep going down and down once you get there.
Oh, yeah. For example, I am in a new amazing relationship, but my last relationship was really bad and I felt very trapped. So she's jaded and she's traumatized from her previous relationship. I think this is a female, from her previous relationship. Yeah, I'm so afraid of my current boyfriend. Okay, so she's a woman. I'm so afraid of my current boyfriend feeling the way I used to. I worry that he's losing feelings, not attracted to me, feels like I'm too immature for him, not smart enough. He's just sticking around until he finds someone. No disrespect, but you pulled that shit on me initially.
No, I did not.
You kind of did, but you know what? It's okay.
What? How? How did I pull that shit?
Well, we don't have to go into that, but I think to a certain extent, when any man or woman comes out of a bad relationship, when they go into their next relationship, they are going to try to be a little more careful.
Oh, of course,
right?
Of course. But I don't think I brought, with my last relationship, I don't think I brought much drama over from that one.
No, you didn't bring any drama over, but there were times. This is normal for women. From what I've learned over the years, you were like, oh, am I beautiful enough for you? Am I smart enough for you? This and that. And, yes, of course you are. But it's natural. It's natural and normal for women to feel that way. From, my research and watching other coaches and stuff and just, growing up over the years, women are going to naturally have more insecurities than men, and it's more normal for women to have those insecurities than men. That's why when women get with a man, if a man, has a lot of insecurities, they look at him as weak because a woman's looking at a man to balance her out in that way. And if he's not balanced out and very insecure, then what the fuck good is he to her? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we continue?
So, yeah, but as far as myself, I don't think, in time in our relationship, things came back to, well, so-and-so did this, so I'm traumatized by that. And so-and-so did that. So, it did come back where I held you, like, to that same level of, I was being defensive a lot, and I find that I've had like a 3-year mark in a relationship where I just get very irritable and I'm like, I question a lot of things, but I know that's about the time that I start to reevaluating whether or not I want to stay. So I guess that's my limit. It's like, if in 3 years I'm seeing consistency with this man and the same behavior, then he's worth putting in more time with. But if, he's immature and he's hung up on past relationships or, just past bad decisions, then it's no fun to be in a relationship with you.
I hear you. Let's continue. And nothing he has actually done has given me reason to think this way, but I've become so hyper vigilant of any time he does something small. It just confirms this made up bias I have in my head about how he feels, and it makes me way more upset than I should.
I have done that. I
love you. You know what I love the most about you?
What?
Is your absolute sheer honesty.
Well, like this, like a situation will be, I will, while he's out, I'll get up and make something in the kitchen, like a snack for me. And he'll come home and be like, oh, did you have a snack? And he'll re-wipe the counter and the sink. And I'm like, did I not do that good enough? Like, what's wrong with the way I cleaned it? And so then I kind of got a little snappy with him about like, why is your way better than my way? And, I think I'm getting over that now, but it was pretty bad for a while. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think here's the thing. Everyone is different, and we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. That includes in relationships. Men and women have their strengths and weaknesses, right? I'm not saying that you didn't do it the right way, but maybe you're not as meticulous as I am, and maybe you missed 1 or 2 little crumbs, that most people would miss, and I don't. Like that doesn't make you wrong or make me wrong. It's just that, hey, I'm just, trying to do my part. If something is missed, I'll pick up the pieces. Or it's
just like, it was just 1 crumb. You might not have seen that.
Right.
There could have been a shadow when you were cleaning up.
But to somebody that's been through a lot of trauma and stuff, they might look at that as, I can't get anything right. Mm-hmm. And you have pulled that on me.
Yeah. It's not that I pulled it on you. It's that it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yeah. And that's something, and it's not his fault. It's within me.
It's unresolved past trauma.
Yeah. It's within me.
And that's why you have your therapist.
That's why I have, this woman is like royalty, right?
Oh, absolutely. She has literally saved you. Like, she's an amazing, amazing therapist. But should we continue?
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Should we continue?
I'm sorry?
Shall we continue?
Yes, we shall.
Okay. All right. Another example is at work. I'm having serious imposter syndrome in my position right now. They can tell me I'm doing great all they want, but anytime I hear a critique, it's like, I actually suck and don't know what I'm doing. That's not true. And see, and I've struggled with that. You've struggled with that.
My last job in particular.
But even in relationships, I make mistakes, you correct me. You make mistakes, I correct you. It's not that we're trying to beat each other up or cause each other like mental anguish or anything like that. We're just trying to help each other become better.
Yeah. And Eli and I have discussed this a lot. Eli has not been married and he doesn't have children. And so the length of living with a person hasn't been as long as I have. I was married 13 years. Lucky number 13. And, my next relationship was 7 years and we lived with each other. The next one was 5 years. We lived with each other. So I had my whole life of acclimating to other people's like quirks and all that stuff, where Eli really hasn't had that opportunity. So when I moved in here, it was like almost like a clash of the titans of the different ways we were, different ways we clean, different ways we tidy things up.
Well, no two people are alike.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I'm saying. And it's like, when you get to be like our age, it's like, are you really going to like flip out because somebody leaves the drawer open a little bit or drops a tissue on the ground and didn't see it? So now that person thinks you're fucking slob. It's just, we have now been living together long enough to know those
over
quirks.
3 years.
Yeah, to know those quirks, to know
absolutely
what will bother each other, And yes, sometimes we do still like antagonize for fun, but it's not like really poking the bear, We try to keep our life light. So if there have been mistakes or something, we just laugh about it because it's a lesson learned. It's something, okay, yeah, I fucked up. It was dumb, but now, I'm not going to do that no more.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And as far as the projecting and all of that, that's where the best thing for a person that does that is to have a really good support system of people that can be straight. My best friend in Hollister, the female one, she is straight as shit, right?
She is.
She
and
don't
the funny thing is she pretty much has told you the same things I've told you, yet you are more receptive to hearing it from her than from me. And that's okay. I still love
Well,
you.
I've known her a lot longer. She's known me and my ups and downs.
I understand.
Yeah, she was with fully with the last 2 relationships. She was around. And then you come and she's going to be like Bochi and she's going to be really like on the edge with you.
Like a fucking bulldog.
Yeah. But you know what? She loves him now. She's like, oh, he's a totally fun guy to hang out with.
She was one of the women that
did a background check on you
and looked into me, and I explained to her when we went to go see her yesterday that this whole thing, there's some things going on we're not going to talk about on the show. There's some, let's just say, this legal issues that are going to handle this situation, and we went into a little more detail with her. And I told her about it because I wanted her to understand that a lot of the stuff that she saw 4 years ago when Don and I first started going out, we're going to be together 4 years in like a week or two?
Next Saturday, the 7th.
In the 4 years that, almost 4 years ago, there was a lot more stuff. I've been working diligently to get it removed through copyright, through community guidelines on YouTube and other means. And we'll get into that another time. She totally understood that, and, at first, she thought I was a piece of shit, and basically she was believing what people were putting out on the internet on me, which was completely the opposite. It was. Obviously it was.
Well, another thing is with her and her friend that did the background checks, they also have known how much I've gone through in my life,
and how vulnerable you were.
And vulnerable. And they were like, I don't think this is a situation you want to put yourself in. And they were right. Not with him, but as far as all the YouTube stuff. And so, but, my friends are mature, educated people, and they just, they're like, it's ridiculous. And, they roll their eyes because, it's not really worth life, thought, anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all
Well, everybody, whenever you're the new guy in the relationship, everyone's going to be protective over the woman. And
I've never had a girlfriend run a background check though before.
Well, you know what? There was a lot. I didn't really feel the need to prove anything. I was just being me. But I think time showed your family, your mother, your father, and then your girlfriend and other people, time and seeing, how much better things have gotten to speak for itself. And that's as far as we need to go into it. But anyway, let's continue here because we got a lot to go over, right, baby?
I guess so. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Now that I'm aware of what I'm doing, I want to stop. Well, that's good. But I don't know how to work on that. Work on self-esteem, maybe. But then on the other hand, what if I am right and I am an awful person and everyone rightfully does hate me? Well, let me say this real quick, and then I'll turn it over to you. The fact that she's identifying there's an issue is a start.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because most people can't even identify that there's an issue. So props to her. Props to her for recognizing that there's something not right. Now, secondly, she wants to stop. She wants to change this. She doesn't want to feel this way. She doesn't want to project her bullshit onto other people. So what is the right thing to do? The best thing to do is get a therapist. Look at your insurance and see what they cover, and get a psychologist. And if you're dealing with depression and anxiety and that stuff, you might need a psychiatrist as well. A psychologist cannot prescribe you medication. A psychiatrist can. I know that because Don has both. It's been phenomenal. But no, I don't think any reasonable people hate this person. Any reasonable person is going to understand that she's projecting and she's going through something. And she doesn't mean to be coming off that way. But at the same time, even reasonable people, after a while, are not going to want to be around someone like that that's not working to fix the underlying issue. This, to me, shows that she wants to change. She identifies with an issue. She wants to turn it around and make it better. What are your thoughts, babe?
Oh, yeah. She definitely is identifying that there's a problem. And at least she is saying it's my problem. And she's made that first step to say, you know what? It's not so-and-so, it's me. And that can become dangerous because then you go down and you start thinking about all the relationships and the conflicts and, where it goes wrong and you find out, oh, I was the one projecting or I was the one instigating. And then you do start to add it up mathematically and you're like, oh, what is the common denominator? Me, And so that's a big eye opener, and that could be dangerous to somebody's mental health, or it could be the eye opener for somebody.
Well said.
That's why having a therapist is very important.
It's critical
because they're going to know when it gets to be too dangerous for you, what information you have. My therapist has been very, very good about managing what I talk about and how in depth we go.
And she holds you accountable too.
And oh my God, she holds me accountable. She's worse than my mother.
Because you know what? She has threatened to put a 5150 on you.
Yeah, if I don't behave myself.
How many times?
3.
Okay. And she's even gone as far as said, you know what? Last week you were at a 7 out of 10 for me doing a 5150.
Uh-huh.
And now this week you're like at a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
She holds you accountable.
Yeah.
Now, listen, folks, don't take this 5150 thing out of context, okay? Every therapist has to analyze their patient, where they're at with their psyche after every session or during every session.
And 5150 does not mean crazy.
It means they put a hold on you.
They put a hold because you could potentially be harmful to yourself or others.
Or others, right. More so in your case.
More so in my case, myself.
Yourself, right? And because like people like you, which I love you, you've been the victim of your own demise, right? And I've been the victim of my own demise for the most part. I've actually been, you and I have actually both been victims in other cases. But when it comes to us projecting our insecurities on the others, we've been the victim of our own demise in that situation. And so, yeah, she holds you accountable, which I've tried to do that too, and you may not like it as much. And you try to do that to me, and I may not like it as much. But when a psychiatrist, a psychologist holds you accountable in that way,
or any doctor for that measure,
you have no choice, and that's what's needed. That's why, if you're struggling with something, you need to get the help from a professional psychiatrist,
and you don't need to have insurance.
Psychologist.
Most counties will have emergency mental health programs that you can get involved with and find a therapist for free.
Yeah.
So don't feel that, I don't have insurance, and make that excuse. No. March your ass down to your disability center and apply for it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's no harm in doing that. There's no fault in doing that. Shouldn't be ashamed to ask for help.
Absolutely.
Because in this modern world, we all need a little help.
Absolutely. Let's read one comment from this posting, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right. So this comment was pretty relevant. The environment / the people around you will let you know when you go too far. Well, two is 2 words, 2 O's, but that's okay. TOO. You can take that as feedback and adjust, or you can continue to do it with all the consequences that come in the same package. Very true. Every behavior we have is the result of a balance. We like to do a lot of things, but the environment pushes back through what we call consequences. I could call myself king of the world and go around saying that, but after a while, people will start to avoid me and say that I'm a lunatic. Well, here's the thing. You have to have self-love. Part of having self-love is talking to yourself in the mirror when you're getting ready in the morning to go to work or wherever you're going, right? And you got to say to yourself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself 5 freaking times, right? And that's going to make you feel better about yourself. But once you get out there feeling better and psyched up, you're not going to go to people and say, hi, my name is Eli. I love myself, so you should love me too. I've used this example many times, and that's what they're saying. They're saying, don't go out there and say, I'm the bomb, I'm the king, I'm this, I'm that. That's arrogance. That's being conceited. People are not going to like that, right? Don't be overly confident or conceited, but don't lack confidence. Balance it out, okay? Tell yourself that you're worth it. You don't have to go around to people and tell them that you're worth it. It's important to let yourself know that you're worth it. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I heard a really good expression. It was on TV. It was about, she was in a competition. She was younger, and she said, my grandma and my daddy always told me, work hard. Don't be hard on yourself. Meaning, you're going to struggle in life, but don't beat yourself up. Keep going, because you will succeed. And I think that's really important that we going through this and recognizing the fact that we have problems with projecting our feelings, all of that
comes. Our insecurities too.
What?
Our insecurities.
Our insecurities as well. It all folds in together. So that's when, I'm not going to just say get a therapist. I'm going to say get a full medical team, with your primary, and set up everything you need in order to get back to that place where you used to be, whether that's with psychology, acupuncture, anything. It could be anything.
Absolutely.
But definitely have your medical team on board with whatever you do.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. I'm not going to even repeat it because you got this drilled down, baby. Like, you're the star of the show now. Well, you've always been. Your name is first. Anyway, let's go to the next one.
You couldn't do the show without me, huh?
I couldn't do the show without you. And hopefully you feel the same way on the flip side.
Well, I don't know. I think I could do it without you. I'm just kidding, honey.
You probably could anyway.
I'm just
baby, you know what? I'm
messing.
all good with baby listening to me. I'm so secure within myself. I can let you stab at me that way, take stabs at me that way, and we can just move on.
You know, it's playful.
It's all good, baby. It's all good in the hood. All right.
All playful.
All right. Let's move the show forward. It's all good, baby. I love you. All right. All right.
You're hysterical.
Yeah. This is from the second postings from the subreddit r/social skills. This was a year ago, and the original poster's title is "How do I stop projecting myself?" Myself is one word. Hatred onto everyone I meet. I'm surprised they spelled onto correctly. It's one word.
Yeah, maybe spell check just didn't pick up on that.
That's creating the title.
Who cares? Who cares?
It doesn't matter. I'm a fucking grammar Nazi, and I
so am I. I don't like people who are illiterate with their language.
It's all good. It's the internet, baby. Everyone's illiterate on the internet now. They're typing 1,000,000 miles a second to get the next posting out, right?
Yeah, and we've abbreviated a lot of words
right.
now.
No time for proofreading anymore. I got to get it out there before the other person beats me to it. And then I lose relevancy and traction and whatever. I am working on self-love at the moment. Wow, that's fucking fantastic. And have improved a lot since starting therapy.
Good. We started at the right spot.
Move the microphone?
What?
Where do you want the microphone?
I'm talking into it. Am I not?
You were talking off to the left a bit initially.
Well, because I'm kind of trying to look at the computer. So yeah, like maybe I do this. Is that better?
Yeah, as long as you're talking directly into it, so you can pick up your voice nice and clearly and beautifully.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been able to afford a session over the past couple of months, so I'm hoping to get some answers here. First and foremost, if you have insurance, most insurance plans cover therapy as long as it's in network. There are always going to be in-network therapists. If you don't have insurance, that's another problem within itself. When I see people here that are saying, I can't afford another session of therapy, it's telling me that they're uninsured. Yeah. Not a good thing. What if you have an emergency? What if you need to go to the emergency room? Do you know how much that would cost you if you're admitted for a week or two? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can ask Dawn.
I was there for an hour, and how much do they charge in the ER?
Plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty. Thousands. Okay? And so that right there is one thing I really want to focus on here at the GNA, is understanding that you all need to have medical insurance, and most of them, if not all of them, they cover.
And y'all have the rights to them. Right. All of us. So why not take advantage of what we have in the country, right?
So unfortunately, I haven't been able to afford a session over the past couple of months, so I'm hoping to get some answers here. Well, we'll do our best with what we got. I've noticed alone, I feel completely confident, no overthinking, no self-doubt, but the second I'm around others, I revert back to extreme self-hatred, and I know others pick up on it. It's making me feel like I have to isolate until I fix it, although I don't know that this would actually be helpful. Any advice from those who have overcome similar would be very much appreciated. So, in my opinion, what's going on here is self-doubt. It's a lack of self-love, a lack of self-confidence. I don't know if this is a man or a woman. They didn't mention. But when they're all alone, they feel completely confident, no overthinking. Well, I think they're afraid of people passing judgment on them, especially in the modern world of the internet where everyone fucking passes judgment on everyone. Like, you got to understand, in this modern world, especially with social media, we all fucking pass judgment on each other. We really shouldn't, but that's the name of the game. We do it subconsciously. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good, relevant story for this.
It is.
When,
sorry, you're gonna share one. You're gonna share one.
Yeah, after I graduated from nursing school, I was confident. I was going into the field that I wanted to go into, but I felt at times I went into that field because it was easier and because I didn't have the confidence for an actual emergency. And as time went on, I had several nurses come to me and say, you were fucking awesome. Where did that come from? You know? And like, I instinctively would jump in and do it, but I didn't have the confidence at first. But when the situation happened, I jumped right into it. But before, I wouldn't be the first one. You know, I'd stand back. But I had to trust in my knowledge, my confidence.
You knew the answers?
I knew what to do, but I was so scared because it wasn't just a freaking doll. It was a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, that took me a little bit of time, but thankfully, I had the best unit and support system. They were there with me while all the way through nursing school, all the way through studying for my boards. They helped me with money to take the boards.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a great support system, and they did a lot of encouraging. And I think I have told everybody the first time I took the boards, I didn't pass. And I really thought that was a message from God that it wasn't meant to be. Like I had no purpose. And, but then they all encouraged me to study, and they studied with me. They put money into a course, a Kaplan course. And after that, I took the test and I passed, no problems. And so I just needed that extra encouragement. I knew I could do it, but I needed the push. And so my point to this story is that, you know, I was holding back due to lack of confidence, lack of self-love, when in all actuality, I had all of the ability to do
Mm-hmm.
it. And
you needed someone to pull it out of you.
Needed somebody to pull it out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's what we do here at the GNA.
That's a great way to put it, is
Mm-hmm.
to pull it out
pull
of
it
me.
out of you.
So,
How much shit have I pulled out of you, baby?
Huh?
How much shit have I pulled out of you?
No, we don't need to discuss that on the podcast.
You pulled out shit from me. Figuratively, baby, figuratively speaking, you're going to take me out of context like the people on YouTube. Good for you. Good. I'm proud of you. Continue. Just continue, okay?
Yeah, no, just that was kind of my addition to that comment.
It's fantastic.
And just having the self-love. And, you know, one thing I could say really that's cool. It impressed me when I moved in here, or when I started dating him and coming here. Right above our microwave, there's a sign, and it says, never give up. And it says it several times.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at it every single
Someone gave me
day.
that when I was networking in the real world, when I was running my insurance business. And I just kept it, and it's beautiful. Never ever give up.
Yeah.
Never ever, and that's why I keep going.
And it's like in the entrance right to our kitchen, so we see it every single day.
Yep.
And it's inspiring, because sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm just like, I can't do anything with my shoulder. I can't go back to work because of my seizures. Like, I just feel useless at times. And, you know, I thankfully have great support, and we help each other, and that makes me feel more useful if we could do things together. So I think I'm starting to ramble, so let's get on.
You're not rambling. You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail. Now, we've got 3 comments here on this one that make a lot of sense, so let's go ahead and get to those here. This person says, I'm sorry, I don't have advice, but I just wanted to say that I have the same problem. I feel so pick-me and annoying when I talk to other people because I'm always putting myself down. I hate it. Let me read one more, and then we'll talk about it. Another one said, the original poster says in response, that's very much okay. This is exactly how I feel too. I think being aware is the start of improvement. Absolutely. That's what we were saying. Awareness is key. If you're not aware of, your actions that are affecting you, how can you correct them?
Exactly.
And typically that's the start to turning your life around. And the truth of the matter is no one can help you, even a psychologist or psychiatrist or any professional. No one can help you until you're open and ready for the help.
Mm-hmm.
You've almost got to, you got to figure out that there's an issue and the issue is you. You are the issue. You have to own that.
Yeah.
You have to stop blaming others for your issues. Now, other people may be causing you issues legitimately. That's a different thing. But in this situation here, this is an issue within yourself. It's a lack of self-love, lack of self-respect, lack of self-confidence. Right, baby?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fingers crossed that by this time next year, we'll all have it figured out. And maybe you will. I'm sure
maybe you will.
If you get the therapy, or you have some good friends that can help you through, maybe you'll figure it out on your own. And there is a possibility you can figure it out on your own. Many people do, but a lot of people also need a therapist. You got to find out what works for you and get the right help. You got to get the right help. Anything else you want to add to that?
Oh, no. And just, with networking in your town community, when you are out networking, you're finding people that are in lines of work that you never thought could be useful for you. And now you've got this person and you need something from them. But then when they give you something, then you put their information out. And
you can never have too many resources, is what you're saying. Just like your friend, we don't have to mention her name, but your friend that used to be a bartender, she made a lot of resources bartending.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, a lot of like actual men would come into the bar around 1:00. That's when their day was ending, because they were starting at like 5:00 in the morning. And so they'd come in and they'd talk to her and they all got to know each other. Mm-hmm. So, when she has something wrong with her house, if her landlord doesn't take care of it, one of the guys will come over and fix it for her quick, and that's always great. Like, I think, wasn't she saying there was something wrong with her car? Oh, no, she was telling me the air conditioning just went out. Remember when we left her house and we were driving to the restaurant? She turned it on and her AC went out. And
she has AC in the house and it wasn't working.
No, in her car.
Or in her car.
And then she got it replaced, and now, as of yesterday, it went out. It was only 1 week. So now she's calling. If
it's an older car,
it's
a lot of those cars.
2017.
Oh yeah, that's. Mine's a 2017 Honda, and the AC works great. I don't know.
It could be just a glitch.
There could be just a manufacturer defect or something. I mean, AC is not gonna, on the new cars. The cars will last 10 years at least.
And the Freon lasts, and so now she's
and
like,
they use the cars use the outside air too, and all that. Yeah, I think they use a different type of. I think they use a different type of thing than Freon nowadays. I can't remember what it is, but that's odd. Yeah, she should take it back.
Well, she's having it checked out and then
under warranty. That should, if they just did a repair on it and it failed again, that should be covered under the warranty of the repair.
But you know how hot it was yesterday there?
98 degrees.
And to get into her car and have it not work.
Oh my gosh, when we got into our car, I immediately cranked up the
well, before I even got into the car, he went out there like 3 minutes before we even left.
Well, that's because for you with your medical conditions, I wanted to have it ready and cool for you.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Because heat is, when somebody has medical conditions, heat is something that can, especially with seizure disorder and stuff like that, I can tolerate heat probably much better than you, but somebody that has certain disorders, it could be very devastating. So, yeah. Anyway, one more comment here. Because this is pretty good. So this person that actually deleted their username a year ago. First of all, congratulations on taking the leap into the journey of self-love. It will absolutely change your life, so please pat yourself on the back and be really proud of yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Taking that first step and recognizing that there's a problem is saying, I'm tired of beating myself up. I'm tired of beating myself up for no fucking reason. Anything else, babe? Or should we go on?
Yeah.
Yeah? Or
go on, yeah.
Okay. And be really proud of yourself. It can feel hard to get self-love off the ground. It takes a lot of practice, honestly, but making the decision to do it already gives you a lot of momentum forward. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not easy to get to the point of where nothing really bothers you. And I've gotten to the point of at age 51 that nothing really bothers me regarding what anyone says about me online or offline. It doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does bother me, if they try, like, for example, now that people can't get to me, they try to get to the people I care about, like Dawn, my family. Now, that'll piss me off still. And so what has to happen at that point is now you got to get your girlfriend, your mother, and everyone else to get on the same page and say, this is stupid internet bullshit, ignore it, don't let it get to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't bother any of us, right? But it's not easy getting to that level. But you can get there. And all you have to do is want to get there. You have to identify the issue. You have to understand that these are people projecting their insecurities onto you. They're talking shit about you because they're miserable about their fucking pathetic, miserable lives.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to bring you down with them because they don't have anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You are their, like we said, these people are, we are their oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
You are their oxygen. So don't give them your oxygen. Save that for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Anything else?
Keep the remote control in your hand. Don't give them control.
Amen. Amen. I find early on it is very incremental. You got to celebrate the tiniest wins. Absolutely. If it were me, I would tell my closest, most trusted friends that this is the journey I am on and I need time to grow. Good friends will support. Well, yeah, good friends will support when they see you heading in the right direction. If you've been making a lot of mistakes and let's say your friends haven't wanted to be around you because you're always, bringing yourself down or blaming others for your mistakes. And when you start to turn that around, that's when people are like, oh shit, Eli's turning his life around. Don's turning her life around. Oh, cool. Now they want to be around you because they're proud of you.
Yeah, when you're not complaining all the time to your people,
you're easy to be around.
Yeah, you're too much of a downer to be around. Like,
no one
who's going to call you and say, hey, like the guys are not going to call you up and say, hey, come out and play some pool or have some beers, watch some football.
Oh, that's all right, dude. I don't feel like going out tonight when, they're going to go out just not with you.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to lie to you and try to appease you because they know that, if they say, oh, we don't want you hanging around, they're going to get more triggered and project more onto you, right?
Well, yeah, because then they get their feelings hurt because then they're not invited. They know they're not invited.
Yeah.
So, and then they start projecting more.
Yeah, because these people lack self-awareness. They're not self-aware. And a lot of them in the modern world, we talked about it, they're very spoiled and entitled and they've had everything handed to them on a golden spoon. And when they realize that that's not how the real world is, you don't get everything handed on a golden spoon and they get challenged, that's when they project and all that shit. Yeah, that's when all this shit starts to happen. So let's see here. You'll feel like you're going backwards a lot and that's totally okay. It's part of it. Yeah, it's part of the process. Keep taking tiny steps, even if it is one tiny little itty step every day. Don't isolate yourself as normal life is good practice. Just socialize as much as you can manage without getting too exhausted. Really think about your boundaries. Learn to draw boundaries. You're a bit vulnerable at the moment. This too will take practice. Self-love and the confidence that comes with it. It's kind of like a snowball. It will build, right? So over the course of time, you start getting better each and every day. And like another coach I've followed for many years, Coach Corey Wayne out here on YouTube, says just get a little better each and every day. And that's all you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is a snowball effect. The snowball will start to roll, and as it rolls, it starts to build slowly and slowly and slowly, and then it'll start to get bigger and bigger, right? Just keep moving forward, okay? And you're gonna have good days and bad days. You're gonna have setbacks, but even the days that you have setbacks, you gotta keep it positive. Yeah, you might react for a second and say, "Oh fuck, this sucks." Yeah, it sucks. Identify it sucks, and then say, "But I'm not gonna let it fucking bring me down. I'm gonna keep moving the fuck forward."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
No. I mean, my stories are all kind of like, I've said them all. They are all relevant, so I don't want to repeat too much.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like a snowball. It will build with other people in your life, acquaintances and such. You don't need to explain a thing. You shouldn't have to. See, that's what happened with you. You didn't even have to say anything. People saw the changes you made. And I didn't have to say much when I rebuilt my relationship with your family. They just saw it all. And I was just blown away. Even at 51 years old, I'm like blown away because you don't have, when you start to do the right thing, people notice that. You don't have to even backtrack. All people want is for everything to be, easygoing and humble and happiness and all that, right? When they see you're in a better state, they're just going to be cool around you. They're going to forget about all the past bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell them anything you don't feel comfortable saying. Over time, people will see you develop, and it will inspire and lift up others. You'll get there. Be kind to yourself. You're doing great. That was a great response, but they deleted their profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to identify there's a problem, and you've got to be willing to figure out what the solution is. You've got to be open to finding the solution, whatever it may take.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, no, it also goes back to, you're having this like projection problem. So what you need to incorporate.
It's an insecurity. It's
well, yeah,
an insecurity. Yeah. Go ahead.
What you need to incorporate first is like just stop, think about why you're going to project, and then resolve by basically you talk yourself out of it because you realize how ridiculous it is, So before projecting, just stop and think about it. Is this worth projecting over? Does it really bug me, or am I just being a bitch right now? Because a lot of times it comes down to just being a bitch.
You nailed it. Like I'm so proud of you because we all, no matter how good we are as people, no matter what you do for a living, we're here to help people through this. That doesn't mean we haven't fucked up or we haven't made the mistakes or we still don't make mistakes. We do. We just have learned to work past them. We've learned to take the proper steps to do it. That's what we want to share with you. This woman here blows me away with what she's saying because she was struggling with all this. I struggled with it in the past myself. I had to overcome certain things and understand that I was the problem and I was the victim of my own demise regarding many things or most things. And same with her. Now, again, other things, it is possible for people to violate you and it is possible to be a real victim. Don't get the two confused. Like, I'm dealing with stuff, I'm not going to get into it. I'm dealing with stuff on the internet now that's requiring legal action. That may happen. That has nothing to do with self-love and all that. Okay. But if you're struggling with self-love, that's when you're the victim of your own demise. That's how it is, right, baby?
Yeah,
you tell me.
Yeah, it is.
That's it.
Yeah, no, it is. There's not much more to say, but yeah.
Okay, let's get to we're at 1 hour and 29 minutes. We're good. We're right on time. Let's get to the third posting here. And from the subreddit r/self improvement. And the original posters title is, How Do I Stop Projecting My Insecurities Onto Other People? One more time. How do I stop projecting my insecurities onto other people?
All right, let's go. Let's
Simple.
see what you have to say.
I also want to be less selfish, anxiety, have more confidence, and love myself. How can I work on these without therapy? If you have anxiety, you need fucking therapy.
If you're asking how to do it without therapy, that's the biggest indication you need therapy.
You need therapy. You need fucking therapy. I mean, you absolutely.
come on.
Even someone that's on therapy or has a therapist is saying, dude, you fucking need therapy, motherfucker.
You literally are saying you need therapy, but how can I get therapy without a therapist?
You know what? This posting on the internet, on Reddit, is their way of coming to terms. They got to put it out there so the public can see it. So
they've come to terms with the fact that they're dumb?
They're not dumb. No, baby, don't say that. That's kind of rude.
Well, it's dumb what they said.
Where do I even start? Well, you put it on Reddit, so I guess that's a start if you want to see it that way. But let's read a few comments here. Okay. You can start by keeping a journal. Write about things that make you insecure. It helps you really think about it, identify it, and begin to work on it. Also, make sure to think about the things you love about yourself and write those down too. These are good points. The more you know about yourself and why you do the things you do, the less you'll project onto others because you will be more aware. I think this is
That's a therapist.
I think we might have gone over this posting in the past. It sounds familiar, and then maybe it's a similar response on a different forum.
I think that person is a therapist or in the mental health industry.
Their name is Huge Refrigerator.
Well, they could be a huge refrigerator like her. They may have a large family. Or they may be as large as a refrigerator.
Yeah, they could be a large person, right? They could be as large as a fridge, yeah. You could also start working out if you don't already. Just set small goals. Working out kicks in endorphins, makes you feel better. You lose weight, get into better shape. The better shape you're in, the better you look, the more confidence you're going to have. Trust me on that one.
Yes.
Okay. The act of getting exercise will help increase your confidence. It'll also clear your head. You don't even need a gym membership. There's plenty of at-home YouTube videos you can find to get a small cardiovascular strength workout in. Yeah, I go walking almost every day, and I broadcast it live.
Yeah, and if you find the right place, like for what you want a little resistance, go somewhere where there's like hills in the neighborhood. If you want to just walk flat, go somewhere flat, like a park. You can decide how intense your walk and exercise is going to be without going into a gym on a treadmill pushing a number.
Right.
That's all up to you and your body. And that's actually the best way is just get out slowly. Always bring a partner, get out slowly, somebody you feel safe with.
If you're going to do some very strenuous hikes when you go in the woods, you want to have at least one other person with you. Never do that alone.
Well, yeah, just in case you have an anxiety attack, that's
whatever happens, right? Yeah, you never know.
You never know, but there are things that you can do to help clear your mind.
Right.
Like take a walk in nature. Go to the fucking spa.
Yeah.
Lay in the pool and just don't put your phone away, put your computer away. Just be alive and free of all the crap.
All right. I think we just read the first line there. Let's go and also make sure to think about the things you love about yourself and write those down. To the more you know about yourself and why you do the things you do, the less you'll project onto others because you'll be more aware. You could also start working out. Oh, I think we did read that. Yeah, I think we read all of that, so we don't have to go through that anymore. Okay. +1 for the journal. Awareness is key. I'd also like to add, definitely keep a gratitude journal. I find that when I remember what I have and how much I've screwed up, I'm less likely to nitpick with other people. Right. You have to understand, there's always two sides to every situation. And, you have to understand that how you handle things is also going to show other people the type of person you are and whether they want to be around you or not. If you're struggling to be around, if you're struggling to have people wanting to be around you or wanting to hang out, it's because of how you're showing up. It's because of how you see yourself and how, you're showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you're easy to get along with, if you're humble, but you're confident, but you're more like, playful, fun, easy to get along with, right? You're not a weak person. You're not, you don't lack confidence, but you're not arrogant either.
Yeah.
Because you can go from one side of the spectrum to the other, and that's not good either. You got to be balanced.
Oh,
People love well-balanced people. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's like you could walk into the room, any room, and be like, I'm the most beautiful woman in this room, but that's subjective, first off.
Sure.
But you can walk in there with the thought of, I am the most confident woman. Don't say I'm the best looking, because obviously looks don't matter, because the other person over there that you might think is not very attractive could be just as confident and assertive and have their life together. You got to give people a chance. You can't just judge a book by its cover. You actually have to get to know them, because you know what? A lot of the most beautiful people in the world are the craziest people in the world. Wouldn't you agree? They have the most problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they have a lot of like body image things. They have, eating disorders.
Oh, lots of disorders.
They have abandonment issues because their family would send them off to like
their psyche. They need a psychologist.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, that all rolls over into your adulthood, and it's just how you take your experiences, and you are either going to learn and be, if you want to be conceited about it, or you just want to be confident.
Right.
And just know, anybody else in the room could do the same thing as you. And just feel proud.
Right.
Proud and confidence, is going to equal a good reaction from people.
Absolutely.
That was one thing my mother and my daughter was saying to me about my choices in men. And they would say, well, Mom, Dawn, you don't actually act very confident. You act like a very needy woman. And so when I heard them say that, it made me think back to, like, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of do latch on and just fall pretty quickly. And so that made me think a lot before going into other relationships, Your
mother and your daughter said that?
Yeah.
Well, my opinion, honestly, most women, when they fall in love hard. It's normal, I think.
Well, yeah, that's not just it, but what they're saying is I didn't have the confidence to walk into a room and think that I was pretty enough or worthy enough for somebody to pay attention. That's changed.
That's their opinion.
Yeah.
I think you've always, you know what? I honestly think you've always had the confidence.
I would say 50-50, because there's like instances in town, back in Hollister, we'd have a group of friends, a fairly large group of friends, and there'd be times that there are parties or barbecues, and I wouldn't be invited, and I would feel like, what the fuck did I do? I was just with y'all last week, and it's just, you can't feel like shitty about it. You just have to understand, people are going to do what they want.
Not everyone's going to get invited to everything.
Yeah, you're not going to get invited, and you shouldn't feel like, oh, poor pitiful me, I'm not being picked.
Right.
Just get up and be like, okay, I understand. Maybe it was an oversight, or maybe they don't have enough room for a lot of people. Whatever it is. Maybe they don't want to feed 40 people. Maybe they only want to feed 20. So, I had to learn how to accept the fact that it wasn't just me, that's why I wasn't being chosen. I also wasn't being assertive enough to put myself out there. So I was kind of in the middle. I was like, I want to be there, but I don't have the confidence to go and ask to be there, And so I'd stand back just waiting for one of them to say, oh, why don't you come, Dawn?
Yeah.
And that didn't happen all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time.
You mentioned family, and family, I hate to say it, they're gonna try to give you advice, and they do it to mean well, but a lot of times, what the advice that family gives is not the best advice. It's based on a reaction or an emotion of the situation, and quite frankly, I don't think you've ever not loved yourself or anything like that. I think you were led to believe by family or other people that you weren't good enough based on what they were saying. You see,
it wasn't from family.
Well,
that was my feeling.
It's an example. It's an example. Let's use an example, right? From whoever has told you stuff like that you lack confidence and all that. That's what they're saying. It doesn't mean it's actually what you're feeling. And a lot of times people will tell you that because they're projecting themselves, or they're trying to get you to be a certain way that they want you to be, which is not necessarily who you were meant to be. And that's all I'm saying is that, like, my family, has given me a lot of shit. They've also given me a lot of good love. You have to learn to take it with a grain of salt and, not let it get to you. That's why when I heard you talking about your family, I was like, hey, it's cool. They love you. They care about you. I get the intention is good, but sometimes, it comes off differently from family. Anyway, shall we continue?
Yeah, I want to go on and say I appreciated that advice from my mom and my daughter.
Okay.
Because I wasn't aware that I was being meek and I wasn't showing what I had to show, and they said, if you build up your confidence and show that you are worth them taking the time, then you're going to get the men that actually want to have a relationship. They don't want to just play around and then, oh yeah, I'll move into your house and, it's just a loveless, crazy relationship, And once I did that and I wrote my info or whatever, my profile on Match, I think that's something that you saw was that confidence. And then we had our conversation and you started talking about the whole lifestyle of the man and the woman in the modern world. And I checked you right away. I said, what do you mean about women working in the modern world? Can you handle that or can you not? And you said, no, I can handle that, but it's more men. They're supposed to be the primary provider for finances, security.
No. It was more about women that were so stuck in their career they didn't even have time to go on a first date.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's where you're coming from. So that's why I checked. That's why, I checked. I was like, let me check back you.
What got to me about you and what gets to most decent guys with women is the type of mannerism they have, meaning that the amount of humility and heart and soul that they have. I've said this many times. The heart and soul of a woman is the most important part to me. Everyone's made mistakes. Everyone has struggled with self-confidence. Everyone's struggled with all that shit, right? And being an older man, when I met you, I was in my mid 40s. I was 46, 47, maybe getting to my late 40s. When I met you, I learned enough to understand that, hey, nobody's perfect, including women. Women are going to have emotional moments. They're going to make mistakes, this and that. But what do I really want from a woman? I want a compassionate woman with the biggest heart and soul that I can have an emotional conversation with and bond just beyond the sexual connection, because you can fuck anyone nowadays. You can bang whatever, right? And that's just the truth. I wanted more than just that. I wanted the emotional bond, and that's what I saw in you. So, I think that in this world, in this day and age, I think people are not really looking at the heart and soul initially. They're looking at looks. They're looking at fucking and having fun. And yes, you should have fun in a relationship, but if you want a real relationship, you've got to have an emotional bond. And in order to have that, you have got to find someone that has a big heart and soul. Both sides, the man and the woman, need to have a big heart and soul. Quick thoughts, and then we got to move forward.
No, go on.
1 hour and 45 minutes. Let me see here. I'm going to go through this part here very, very quickly, because there's a lot here, but we got to get through it. Work on self-love and self-respect, and that will diminish your anxiety. Here are some tips. Yeah, it absolutely will diminish your anxiety. It'll help a lot. Self-love and self-respect, right, babe?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you?
It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't criticize yourself. We all screw up sometimes. When a friend screws up, don't berate them with belittling and hateful remarks. So why do that to yourself? Be mindful of your self-talk. This is the one I disagree with here. The problem is nowadays people are growing up in a very entitled world. And if you don't criticize them, if you don't call them out and hold them accountable, nothing's going to change. So, and being a world that's on the internet now, it's all about criticism constantly. If you can't handle it, you're fucked. You're not going to survive in this world if you cannot handle fucking criticism. I've been attacked on YouTube by the dumbest group of people ever, just for example purposes, that say I can't handle criticism. No, I can't handle criticism. What I can't handle is being harassed and abused and violated, legally violated. Okay? And there is a big difference there. But as far as just criticism, people talking shit, not a problem. You should just let it go. And if you can't accept the criticism, or if other people can't criticize you legitimately, and without it affecting you, then that's gonna affect you. What do you think about that?
No, I agree with that. I mean, I agree that that's not totally, I agree with how you feel on it, like, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Celebrate your victories. When something good happens in your life, celebrate. Just like when your kid scores a big goal in their soccer game, you are joyful and proud. So be proud of yourself during your moments. Yes, I need to get better at this because I'm a very humble person. And for me, it's like if I win at something, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. Like my birthday every year, I don't need to make a big deal out of it. But other people, like your lady, wants to make a big deal out of it. You got to learn to celebrate your victories, because you're going to have a lot more losses than victories. So you got to take the victories and enjoy them when you have them. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. And this is a really sticky situation as far as while you're raising children, you are giving them all of the encouragement and love and building their self-esteem with telling them how good they are, even if they're not the fastest on the team. They always tell, their kids are beautiful or handsome, and they might not be the cutest kid in the room, but that's what parents do. And you build them up, and then some of these kids go out into the world with so much arrogance that they can't see straight. But then you also have some come out with a lot of humility. And it all just depends on the raising and environment, not just your parents, your environment, the people you hang around with and associate with. They become like who you are. You guys become a unit. So finding like-minded people, those are good ways to avoid that projection and that feeling. And that's where the positive encouragement from parents comes from. You don't want to be the football dad that literally smacks the son in the head like, what the fuck? Why the fuck do you do that?
Right.
You know, you don't want to put that much pressure on kids. You want to encourage and love and explain to them they're not always going to win. But as long as they had fun competing, that's all that matters.
It's how you play the game.
It's how you play the game, and your sportsmanship is the best thing.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to realize you're never going to win every situation. You're going to have loss. You're going to have doors slammed in your face.
Gotta have good sportsmanship. Yep.
Yeah, you have to just shake it off. You know, like Taylor says, shake it off. And then you move on to the next round or next event.
You call her T Swift, right?
T Swift. The Swifties. Yes.
Yeah.
I used to like her a lot. Now, I just tolerate her.
Okay, let's continue. Got to go through this quickly here. Forgive yourself. We all make mistakes. That's an obvious one, baby. We got to go through this a little quicker now. Forgive yourself, right?
Yep.
Don't wallow in guilt forever. Be your best friend. Yeah. That's self-love. Same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your health. That's critical. If you're overweight, you got to lose weight, get into shape, eat better, exercise more. We can get into some more health stuff down the road on a different podcast. Maybe we'll do that next week or the week after. Be kind to others. Look, treat others the way you want to be treated. I mean, what the fuck? That's the simplest
Right. When
thing.
you're 5, your mom tells you, do unto others as you want
the church,
done to yourself.
That's the Bible.
It's the golden rule.
That's the Bible.
Well, yeah. But it is the golden rule. You tell your kids when they're going in
treat others the way you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Like if you don't want to be smacked, don't smack another kid. You know? Because realize that kid has just the same ability to whop you and make you fall on your ass. So, you know.
Yeah, you got these people, like, for example, like on the internet, they're like, I can talk about you all I want, but if you talk about me, I'm going to sue you or something, right? It's like, what the fuck, And so, treat others the way you want to be treated. Look everyone straight in the eyes. Don't feel that you are below others. Looking at people straight in the eyes means you are at their level. It doesn't matter who it is, the store clerk, your boss, or the Queen of England. It's called respect. Respect is a two-way street, okay? If you want someone to respect you, you've got to respect them. It's a two-way street. A lot of people just don't fucking understand that, especially in this modern world. Because in this modern world, what gets you more clicks is being disrespectful on the fucking internet. I swear to God, I want to smack all those fucking disrespectful people on the internet that do it on purpose just for clicks. Or maybe they're just disrespectful, normally in general, and they've been more accustomed to it because it's what gets more clicks on the fucking internet. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's move on to the next one here because we are getting short on time. It's 1 hour and 52 minutes. Let's go through this real quick here. Okay. This final posting is from the subreddit "Are Raised by Narcissists," and the original poster's name is "She Hates These Cans," and the original poster's title is "What tips you off that someone is projecting onto you?" What tips you off that someone is projecting onto you? Very interesting. Okay, I've spent most of my life as a human movie screen who only existed for people to project all of their insecurities and whatever other bullshit onto me. I distrusted people who did not treat me this way. I've done a lot of healing over the years, and I am working on setting better boundaries. So that's a good start, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's realizing all these people are fucking kicking him down. Actually, no, I think it's a female. Kicking her down, talking shit about her, disrespecting her. And she was wondering, she's probably wondering, what have I done to deserve this, right? What have I done to deserve this? But she's realizing that, that people are projecting onto her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting better at recognizing when someone is projecting onto me. That is critical. That is one thing we focus a lot of time and energy on here at the GNA, is that you need to learn to understand when people are projecting onto you. It's because they're saying onto you how they see themselves. Right, baby?
Yeah, absolutely.
My biggest tip-off is when I want to fawn around them, even if I can't identify why I want to fawn, it tells me they are trying to mow over my boundaries. I've realized that it mostly starts with a gut feeling like I just want to get away from this person right now, even if I can't explain why. I've learned to trust that feeling and be much more guarded around them instead of rolling over and letting them project onto me. I've noticed when dealing with people that are projecting onto you. Like if you try to communicate with someone and then they respond to you in a negative, harsh tone, an unwarranted negative, harsh tone, it's because they're projecting. And when you get that kind of a response, that is your cue to just back off and just don't talk with people like that. Because the more that you associate with someone like that, they're going to suck you in their negative vortex. And then you're going to become their punching bag. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, babe.
I kind of forgot what I was going to say, but it had something to do with that last line.
I've learned to trust that feeling and be much more guarded around them instead of rolling over and letting them project onto me.
Yeah, that's a thing, is you have to be able to recognize that. And that goes with knowing the people that you are around, and getting to know what their situation is. Like if I, lost one of my puppies, heaven forbid, I know.
I would never let that happen, babe. The fuck no way.
I wouldn't.
I'm so protective of all of you.
I might project onto Eli to be like, how could you let them get out and put all that anger? But honestly, I'm the one angry at myself because I didn't protect them. It's one of those situations, and he will understand that. Mm-hmm. Because of the situation.
Absolutely.
Because he knows that my dogs mean the world to me, so I want to blame anybody else on the planet if something goes wrong.
So now you understand why I'm so overprotective of all of you.
Of all of us, yeah.
Right. You give me shit about it, but it's just because you've had a moment, and I understand that, right? Because I understand this.
Well, yeah, and it's like I get a moment being like, I'm overwhelmed, and then we talk about it and we work it out. We used to get to a point where we couldn't talk about it and have to walk away.
I appreciate that. We can talk about it nowadays, and I think a lot of it has to do, we've learned more about each other. I've worked on myself and bettered myself. Hopefully you feel that way, and you've worked on yourself and bettered yourself, and that's why we're here to share with the world that you can do it too.
Yeah. You
can do it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shall we?
We shall.
Both your dogs are totally
behaving.
And they're sleeping. They're on the floor. We got two fans going in here because it's really, really hot today. Anyway. Boop, 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 boop. Just a few more lines here. I'm also realizing that there are some common patterns with the projectors. Oh, absolutely. The projectors. I love that. That sounds like a movie. The projectors, the insecurity projectors. One huge tip-off is if someone says something like you don't like that, or that doesn't seem like you. When I talk about a movie, show, book, or something else that I like, or when I'm wearing clothing that doesn't seem to fit the image they've built in their head, they will make fun of it and say, that doesn't seem like my style. I'm an androgynous looking muscular lesbian. Okay. So
hot.
So this mostly happens when I'm wearing very stereotypical feminine clothing. These statements are often accompanied by mocking laughter. Yeah, well, unfortunately, and I didn't know she was a muscular lesbian. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Be you, right? But
that's why I'm like, hot. You go, girl. You rock it.
But a lot of people are going to just criticize the fact that she's just a lesbian and she's muscular.
Well, no, what they're criticizing is when she femmes up her wardrobe or her look.
Uh-huh.
They feel she's being fake because she's usually in maybe what are they? Like the big plaid jacket things, the flannel things,
Oh, yeah.
And just like khaki pants and, and if she decides to wear a skirt, people are going to be like, what the fuck? That's not normal behavior.
No, right.
Is she projecting because she feels like she's out of place? So she's not being herself? You know?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm also beginning to believe that I think that, the fact that she's a muscular lesbian is making her lack self-confidence.
Yeah,
And
very much.
I think what would turn things around is if she were to just say, I'm a muscular lesbian. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. That's all she would need to do.
Yeah.
And she's not at that point. I think let's read the last two paragraphs and then we'll wrap up with the thoughts. But
good, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I hear you. I realize that they're just confessing that they are projecting onto me and don't even see me as a person. I'm just an object to project onto, and they won't be willing to budge from that image they've built in their head. Well, they're more so stereotyping is what they're
It's a
doing.
stigma.
It's a stereotype stigma, however you want to put it.
That's in the United States.
Or it could be anywhere.
Anywhere, but we have for being 2025, people in this country
they're the worst. Here in the U.S., we're the worst.
I mean, you can't walk down the street without somebody making fun of somebody else because they might be, gay or lesbian. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Come on.
I'm getting better at not fawning with people like this. I've been learning to set firm boundaries with these people and not to explain the boundary. Since the explanation always seems to confirm the projection of me being crazy, weird, weak, stupid, etc., I'm learning not to share any personal information with these people. A few of them have fucked off out of my life after setting a boundary with them. Good. One single time because they thought I was a boundary-less projection screen, and it turned out they were wrong. What are some other signs and patterns you've noticed with people who project onto you? How do you handle setting boundaries with these people since they are inherently boundary tramplers? First of all, you could be whoever you want to be in this world nowadays, and it's socially acceptable to be gay, lesbian, bi, trans, whatever. Maybe 20, 30 years ago it wasn't. Now it is, and you all have rights. You have to be secure within yourself, in my opinion. First, you need to be secure within yourself that you don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. You are a masculine lesbian, I think she was saying earlier.
Yeah.
If that defines you and makes you happy and you're happy being that, then you've got to be happy being that. It kind of sounds like you lack self-confidence and you lack self-love. And it kind of sounds like you feel saddened that you are a masculine lesbian. You got to be proud to be who you are.
Well, yeah, she might not be ashamed. It just might be the kickback from the community has made her feel like who she isn't right.
They're shaming her, so in my opinion, she is feeling ashamed, and she shouldn't feel shame.
No,
if that's who she is, and that's what makes her happy. So the bottom line is that she's got to get to a place where she's completely happy with who she is. And once she gets there, anyone else that comes along and tries to shame her, she'll just say, fuck you, or she'll ignore them and move on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this shouldn't even be a big deal. If it happens in public, you can move on.
You want to hear a funny story about, when I lived in Hollister, we had the local, the high school for everybody in San Benito County. We had one high school. There was a teacher there, a male teacher. But in his off time, he was transsexual and he dressed as a woman. And he would walk around town. He would go into the grocery stores. He'd go into the bars, the banks, everywhere, dressed as a woman. But everybody in town knows he's a man and he's a teacher. And so a lot of people projected their homophobic feelings against him and didn't allow
or onto him, right?
Or onto him and didn't allow their children to be in his classes because of who he was as a person.
Wow.
I thought that was a great, not a funny story, but a great
example,
like ending our podcast, that's how, it works. It's sad, but that's society. I thought, dude got balls. Like, good for him. He's living his best life.
Yeah.
And he owns it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not going to go into any comments there because that original poster's posting spoke for itself. That was very good. We're going to start to wrap things up. We are at 2 hours and 4 minutes. Another great show, babe. This topic, we can share our final thoughts. I'll have you go first. Share your final thoughts regarding stop projecting your misery onto others. I mean, what advice would you want to give to people out there, and the difference between the real world and online, or it's all combined? Like, this all comes into play because today people are projecting fucking everywhere.
Yes. So final thoughts on this. People need to start opening their eyes to their own behavior and speaking with a therapist or somebody that's not biased or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Try to figure out why. Why am I feeling this way? Once you get to the bottom of the problem, you're probably not likely to project onto people. We're all going through things where we're dealing with people in our lives that are projecting their fears, their trauma, everything onto, us or other people, and they blame us. And that's the hardest thing, is when you're being blamed for something that you didn't do, or you didn't maliciously, intentionally do it, and you have no way to make up for anything because they shut you down.
Right.
That is frustrating. But communication, being real with your friends, being real with your family, sit them down and say, we're concerned.
Right.
We'd like to see you get some help. And, don't take judgment from your family. They love you. There's a reason they're saying this.
I could not have said it better myself. This topic, anything else, baby? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
Oh, no, you're good.
This topic's been very near and dear to my heart because I've had a lot of people project onto me, especially on the YouTube platform. I've been trying to run this business for probably over 8 years now. All I want to do is help people. All Dawn now wants to do, that she's with me, is help people. Like, we love helping people.
Yeah.
We've had to learn to understand that the majority of things that people say, especially on the internet, are just to get a reaction from you and are just their form of therapy instead of having to actually get an actual therapist.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these people feel like they don't need a therapist. The people that feel they don't need a therapist are typically the ones that
need them the most.
Need them the most, right? And so, and you said your family. Your family can be your worst critics. They care about you the most. And quite honestly, most of the time, your family is going to try to give you advice that they feel is good or the right path for you. And many times it's actually not.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean your family doesn't love you or they have ill intentions.
That you're wrong in any way.
Yeah, no.
Difference of opinions happen even in the closest of families. And it's just a matter of recognizing and helping your family with however you can. If you cannot be the person to listen and talk to, then, find a distant relative. I don't know. Go in to the library, talk to the librarian, talk to, your beautician, your postman, your bartender, the lady at the grocery line,
Yeah.
Lots of opportunities to get out there and talk to people.
I think one of the best ways to stop people that are projecting onto you dead in their tracks is to just not let it get to you, not overreact. Is to stay cool, calm, and collected. If you're gonna respond calmly. Now, if this is happening on YouTube and you've got a back and forth going on, with some YouTubers, sometimes you're going to respond and put a little more oomph into it because you don't want it to be boring, and that can happen. But quite frankly, the quickest way, in my opinion, to stop projectors is to just not pay them any attention and not let them get to you. The only reason I would ever pay attention to any people that have been projecting onto me is if they violated me in other ways outside of their projections. And that has happened, and that's going to be dealt with separately. But in most situations, you ignore it. Don't let it get to you, and eventually they're going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else, baby, or should we start wrapping things up?
Oh, no, we could start wrapping it up. I had another little quick story, but it's not relevant.
No, share your quick story.
Oh, well, okay, so my girlfriend in Hollister, she's been through ups and downs with me and my relationships and stuff like that, and she loves me to death. Mm-hmm. I love her to death. She never sugarcoated anything with me. I'd go over to her house and I'd be bitching and moaning about somebody, and she'd come over here. She'd walk me into the bathroom, say, look in the mirror and say that again. And I'm like, why do you have to be a bitch? Why can't you be on my side? She's like, because if I don't, you'll never see how stupid you are. Or stupid you're acting.
Or or stupid you look too, right?
Yeah, stupid you look, doing the things you're doing. But You need to have a friend like that that's going to smack you and be like, stop acting dumb, Let me smack you back into reality. And she is that person for me. She doesn't let me just go over there and project onto her that I'm so alone and nobody loves me. I have nobody. Because she's like, bitch, you've been on my couch before. I've been here for you. And that's insulting to the people who have been in there.
Yeah.
Now you're projecting nobody loves me to the person who's giving you a home to live into.
Right. And so what your friend was saying was something that I heard from Coach Corey Wayne probably like almost 9 or 10 years ago. And Coach Corey Wayne would talk about projecting, and he would say people that are projecting, it's a direct reflection of how they see themselves. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's a direct reflection of how they see themselves. And
a little bit of jealousy I had.
Well, I mean, anyone that's projecting is jealous to a certain extent, or feels that they're lacking something the person they're projecting onto has that they don't have and they want, right? That's what it is. And to a certain extent, I think everyone's going to go through a little projecting in their life, but some people are constant projectors, especially some people on YouTube. They've been projecting like there's no fucking tomorrow.
No tomorrow.
And then you're waiting for that bulb to burn out so they can't project anymore, but somehow that bulb is still burning, and it's like, fuck, man. Anyway, anything else, baby, or should we start to
wrap
this baby up? All right, baby. It is time to start wrapping this baby up. All right. You've been listening to the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This has been episode number 24, and the topic has been stop projecting your misery onto others. Great show, babe, again. And let's remind everyone that is out there listening to us audio only on the audio only podcast network that you can actually watch the video version on YouTube, which is the same exact audio as on the audio only version, but just with video added. So if you want to see video, go below wherever you're listening to this podcast audio only. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on Amazon Music, and your very favorite iHeartRadio with a smile, and also on Amazon's Audible, YouTube Music, and the rest of the very many and unknown audio-only podcast networks. You can do a Google search, Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, and you'll find where we're at. And iHeartRadio is typically at the top because they're very popular. And they were one of the first to do podcasting many, many years ago. So you go in the description of wherever you're listening to this audio only. You'll see the link to that particular video. That'll link you back to the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. You can go subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications while you're there. Then go in that description, and you'll see the link to our secondary channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where I do pretty much almost daily live streams, if not every day, almost every day, live streams called Walking with Purpose. And we have a topic, but they're very informal, so you're going to want to join us there. Subscribe there, bang the bell, and select all notifications so you won't miss anything. With that being said, baby, it's time to go. Time to go. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, what, baby?
Be good to each other.
Be good to each other.